Hey, what's up everybody? It's Carl, aka Carl Drum Tech, and today, let's talk about why your drum instructor is crazy! Cue the music. Alright, if you guys are finding me for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button, red button down below that says subscribe. That way you're notified anytime I put out a new video in regards to marching arts, marching bands, drum lines, indoor percussion, drum corps, all that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single upload. Now also make sure that notification bell is ringing as well. That way for sure you'll be notified anytime I put out a new video. So subscribe, make sure that notification bell is ringing, and let's get the video. Okay, so why is your drum instructor crazy? Okay, well, I'm just trying to, bring up some feelings that you might be feeling if you've ever been in a situation where you're auditioning for your school's drum line. Let's say you're auditioning for snare, quad, and you don't get the spot. And the reason they tell you why you don't get the spot is because, well, we have a lot of seniors and juniors, we just got to get them in there. Sorry, you'll get it next time or whatever, right? And my students, and I'm saying this because this has happened to my students I'm currently teaching right now. They're young and they're getting good, but and they tried out for the spot that they wanted, like snares and tenors, but for whatever reason they didn't get the spot, right? And the only reason they got was, well, he had a lot of older students and whatnot, or just whatever reason, right? It just wasn't like you're not good enough. It's just, or you didn't put it in work. It's just for whatever reason they didn't get the spot, right? It can be incredibly frustrating and confusing, right? It's like you put in all this time, you put in all this work, you get really good, and then you still don't get the spot. Doesn't make sense, right? So I completely empathize from that standpoint, especially when I'm invested in my students' success, right? So for me, I feel that too. It's like, what? Why? That doesn't make sense. What the heck, right? So I'm right there with my students with feeling that way, right? On the other hand, I can empathize with the instructors as well because I've been on that side. I've definitely given students preference if they were older because for me, it was a way for me to pay back the commitment they made to the group and their loyalty. So it's like, they put in their dues, they put in their time, they contributed a lot to the group success. So one way to repay them is to give them a spot that they would like to go for when they're a junior or a senior, right? So it happens, whether that's the right thing to do or not, whether that's the actual reason my students didn't make it or not. The fact of the matter is they didn't get the spot. Okay, so what can you do in that situation, like to kind of like, because maybe you've been in that situation, right? Like, what do you do in that situation? Well, number one, right, I want you to channel that energy, and I've told this to my students. I want you to use that negative energy, that that frustration, that anger, that disappointment, that confusion, all those emotions, right? And I want you to turn it around and, like, from here on out, make it so that the instructors regret their decision. I want their instructors to regret not choosing those students for those spots, right? And the only way to make them regret that choice is like to get good, to get really good. And for those instructors to see like, oh man, this guy is getting better than this other person I chose, right? Which can happen, right? So it's one way to kind of help you motivate yourself to get really, really good, right? Not getting the spot that you wanted. It's not to show up the instructor, really, although that can be a starting point, right? I'm using that as a starting point, but really what it comes down to is ultimately the benefit of the student getting better, right? And when that happens, a lot of times, that's when things happen. That's when you can start to increase your chances of making it to the spot that you want in almost any circumstance. Now, that's not a guarantee. There's no such thing as something that's entitled to you that, if you put in work, if you practice hard, if you get really good, you're gonna get the spot you want. Yes, there's a good chance that you will get the spot, but there are so many factors that go into it that it's not guaranteed, okay? And it's not entitled to you just because you put in the work, just because you put in the time, right? And it's like, it's really easy to say, and I've said this many times as a teacher, it's like, if you put in work, good things will come. Well, sometimes the reality is good things don't come, or it's not what you expected, right? So what do? Well, you just have to trust the process, keep putting in the work anyway, keep getting good anyway, and at some point you'll get rewarded. and it may not even be the reward that you're looking for, if that makes sense, right? It's hard to see that in the present moment, but it's just one of those things where you will see it, that if you put in the time and the effort and the work and trust the process and just continue to do the process, right, then good things will happen, okay? And it may not be the result or the outcome that you want. Okay, so that's what I tell all my students, right? In this situation, if they don't make the spot, first of all, make your instructor regret it. Okay, and I have no problem saying that because, like, I've been in situations where, you know, if I don't give a student the spot they want, I tell them, make me regret it. Make me regret the decision, and that's on you, right? So if you do that, then wow, you're gonna get pretty good, and yeah, I'm gonna really regret it, and I need to find a way to get you, you know, at the spot you want that will benefit us the most. Maybe next year, maybe as soon as possible, somehow, some way, make a spot for you. I don't know, right? But ultimately, the benefit is to the student, right? They got good, right? So, and the other thing is, like, you know, as you get good, just know that, you know, there's no such thing as a guaranteed outcome, right? But you just have to put in the work regardless. And the only thing that you can guarantee is that you'll guarantee that you'll work hard. You'll guarantee that you'll put in the time. You'll guarantee that you'll get good because of that, okay? But, you know, you still may not get the reward you're looking for, and that's okay, right? And it may not happen next year, it may not happen the year after that, it may not even happen in the marching arts, right? Like, I didn't accomplish everything I wanted in the marching arts, but look at me now, 42-year-old man, and I'm still able to do stuff in the activity. I'm still able to succeed in a lot of ways that I didn't expect, right? And that's because of me just putting in the work regardless, right? So, and it may also mean that, you know, you gain some type of discipline, some type of work ethic because you're practicing all the time, you know, and it applies to some other thing in your life, whether that's your job or career or some other passion that you have, and you get good and you become famous for something else because of what you learned in marching band. I don't know, right? Like, that's the possibility of, you know, not getting the reward that you expect, okay? But first of all, nothing is guaranteed, nothing is entitled to you. Just keep putting in the work, keep putting in the time to go through the process, and that's it. That's all you're guaranteed. Whoa, it's been a while since I've used this pad, but let's learn deviled eggs. Deviled eggs are 7 lets, and it's 3, 2, 2. That's it. So a triple stroke, a double stroke, and then another double stroke. That was a triple stroke. Triple stroke, double stroke, double stroke. And then it alternates. So you're gonna start on the left this time. Okay, so put it together. Okay, those are deviled eggs, and I was actually working on this with a student, teaching this to them, and I did say that, you know, are there going to be a lot of applications for this? Like, are you going to see this in show music a lot? Probably not. Realistically, I haven't seen it in a lot of audition packets or, you know, music excerpts. So why learn it at all, right? Well, because number one, you want to definitely increase your vocabulary because you never know, it might come up. Some group out there may, you know, play some deviled eggs, okay? But on the other hand, learning a skill set like learning how to play deviled eggs is just good for your overall chops. It's good for, you know, building more dexterity, experience playing, you know, different combinations of triple strokes and double strokes. So all these things help, right? So even if you learn an obscure rudiment, it can still be good for you, right? So if nothing else is fun, right? Like, I can do deviled eggs. Right? So definitely don't take it as like, well, we're not going to do these, so no need to practice it. You know, take it as it's a fun thing to learn. It's going to be good for your chops. It's going to be good for your vocabulary. So learn some different things like deviled eggs. Okay, so cool, guys. Hopefully you find this video helpful and interesting. If you did, do me a huge favor, hit that like button down below. If you have any questions or comments, would like to add to the conversation, leave that in the comments below as well. And if you have not subscribed yet, after I told you to subscribe, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single upload. I know I haven't been uploading regularly, but I'm trying to get back on track. So if you subscribe, you're gonna get more content, so make sure you do that. And if you feel like this video could help somebody else out, like let's say you have a friend who didn't make the spot, they're really bummed, they're really sad, share this video with them, okay? And then hopefully they'll feel better, and hopefully it'll inspire them and motivate them to continue to work hard practicing, and one day you know, they'll get rewarded some way, somehow. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. You should totally watch more of my videos by clicking over here and subscribing over here. Peace. Catch you guys on the next video. Bye.